how the coffee roasting process works. Have you ever gazed adoringly into a delicious cup of coffee and wondered how the roasting process works? Your morning cup's delicious flavor is in fact a result of coffee roasting. Allow us to take you on an interesting journey to learn how your coffee bean is prepared for consumption and gets into that cup. If you want to learn about how the coffee roasting process works, just keep on watching. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more informative videos like this one. Alright, now let's get into it. What is coffee roasting? The process of turning a green, unroasted coffee bean into a dark brown, coffee-ready bean is referred to as roasting. The roasting procedure cooks the coffee beans, altering their shape and bringing forth their unique flavor. It's crucial to roast your coffee because raw coffee beans lack the rich, aromatic qualities of roasted beans. The coffee roasting process. There are 3 steps required when it comes to coffee roasting. This means that roasting coffee beans is neither difficult nor time-consuming, which is great. The 3 main steps of roasting include drying, roasting, and cooling. The coffee beans need to be dried before anything else can happen. Before any roasting takes place, any moisture that is present in the beans must be eradicated. The coffee beans will change color during this drying stage from green to yellow as a result of the reaction. The beans are then deposited into a rotating drum for about 8 minutes at 320 degrees Fahrenheit. The coffee beans are able to dry out in this amount of time without burning. Then it's time for the roasting, which is the main event. As you can guess, the main and most crucial step in the procedure is the roasting phase. Almost all of the flavors, characteristics, and colors of the coffee beans will develop during roasting. The famous coffee bean crack now begins to appear when the roasting drum is heated up to 446 degrees for around 15 minutes. As the temperature rises at this point, the Maillard reaction slowly takes place. The coffee beans' sugars and amino acids combine to create hundreds of new color and fragrance components. This response is what gives coffee beans their well-known aroma and flavor. Every variety of coffee requires a different roasting procedure. Coffee roasters alter the methods by adjusting the roasting temperature and time. A coffee bean may require more or less time roasting at a higher or lower temperature, depending on the kind of roast. Given their extensive knowledge of coffee beans, skilled coffee roasters will have figured out the ideal recipe for their beans. Roasting involves a lot of trial and error, so people who lack patience might wish to stay away from the profession. The coffee bean's final step is cooling. The beans have already been dried and then roasted, turning them a rich shade of brown and enhancing their flavor. Now, roasters must pause the process to swiftly cool the beans to room temperature. The cooling process doesn't take any longer than around 5 minutes. Once the coffee beans are cooled, the roasting process is complete. Your favorite cup of coffee can now be created from the ground-up coffee beans. All about the blonde roast. Compared to medium and dark roasts, blonde roast coffee has been roasted for a shorter time. The color of these under-roasted beans is often light brown. Blonde espresso has a richer flavor than dark roast coffee, but a lighter body than medium roast. Because heat breaks down acidity more as it roasts longer and hotter, blonde roasts of the same coffee will always be more acidic than darker roasts. Blonde roast's significant acidity evokes a citrusy taste, and some people even describe the flavor as lemony. Many experts agree that a cup of blonde roast coffee is a fantastic way to wake up and feel energized. Since it has a moderate flavor, you can enjoy it without adding any other ingredients. This makes it the ideal coffee for those seeking a simple way to begin the day. The truth is that roasting time has little effect on caffeine content. The amount of caffeine in darker roasts is comparable to that of lighter roasts. All about the medium roast. Brown in hue, medium roast coffee seldom ever has an oily surface. These coffees have a rounded flavor profile with mild acidity. After being roasted for prolonged lengths of time, the sweetness of the rich caramel flavor begins to emerge. In contrast to lighter roasts, medium begins to taste more roasted and loses some of the light citrusy notes that are distinctive of a blonde roast. Medium roasts are the most popular coffee types in America, so if you're searching for a coffee with a more traditional flavor, we suggest trying this roast. all about the dark roast. Compared to lightly roasted beans, dark roast coffee beans are roasted at a greater temperature for a longer period of time. Beans must be roasted to a temperature greater than 430 degrees, but not much higher than 440 degrees, in order to be classified as dark. Dark roast coffee beans include complex flavor notes that include dark chocolate, spice, and woodiness. They are ideal for those who prefer their coffee without any extra sugar or cream because they tend to be less acidic than other roasts. Dark roasts are seen by some coffee drinkers to be more potent and caffeinated than light roasts. In actuality though, the amount of caffeine stays largely constant during the whole roasting process. The flavor, not the amount of caffeine, is what distinguishes different roasts. This type of roast is often thought to provide a stronger punch than light roasts due to its bolder flavor. Coffee beans versus espresso beans. Espresso beans and coffee beans are not fundamentally different from one another. Rather, the discrepancy lies in how each is prepared. In order to produce an ounce or two of concentrated coffee, espresso beans are typically roasted for a longer time, have a fine grind, and require high pressure. As a result, the espresso flavor is stronger, richer, and more concentrated. Additionally, espresso beans typically have more of a glossy sheen to their surfaces and are more oily than regular coffee beans. Because of this oiliness, a crema gets created when the beans are processed. Normal coffee beans are often lighter roasted, preserving the full flavor of the beans. They work well for a variety of brewing methods, but not high-pressure ones. If you brew espresso with normal coffee beans, you might notice that it lacks the distinctly bitter flavor of espresso. The fundamental roasting process is straightforward. Roast green coffee beans until they become a dark brown color. Now that you're aware of the coffee roasting process, as well as the different types of coffee roasts, you'll be more informed the next time you sip your steamy morning mug. Did you learn something new about coffee from this video? If you did, leave a comment below telling us your go-to coffee order. As always, like and subscribe to stay tuned for more future videos like this one. Goodbye for now.